Hey, welcome again to Spouse Affairs. Thank you for being there. Thank you for returning to come watch and hear something again that will help relationships, help us, understand our spouses, help us to adjust. So we've been dealing with Ruth and Boaz. If you followed my two previous posts, it had to do with Ruth and Boaz. I said the story, and then the subsequent one dealt with Boaz alone. Now I want to deal with Ruth. So, what are some of the lessons we can learn from Ruth as regards relationship? What are some of the lessons? What are some of the things that we could pick or take out of Ruth? What are some of the things that could help us as ladies, as women? What are some of the things? So, if you look at the story of Ruth, you will find out that Ruth was a very industrious woman. Ruth, when it came to work, she was not a lazy person. Like, you know, she went out of her way to tell, when they got to Bethlehem, when they got to Naomi's place, she told her mother-in-law, she said, you know what, let me go and look for food. Let me go and work so that we can have food. I can have food, take care of you and take care of me. She didn't just relax and say, you know what, let's hope that the Lord will provide food for us. Or as a widow, God will take care of us. She went out of her way and went to look for work. She went out of her way to look for work. She wasn't sending messages to people, send me money, send me this, send me that. She wasn't trying to sleep around for money. She went to look for work, and she was using her hands to work and provide food for her mother-in-law. So the first thing was that Ruth wasn't lazy, she was hardworking. So she was working. I'm emphasizing working because I found that a lot of ladies, while single, they're waiting for this big job. They're waiting for this. There's nothing wrong with expecting a big job. But before the big job comes, there are some things you can use your hands to do. There are some places you can start working in. There are some things you can start doing. You need to be industrious. You need to work. So that you're earning the living. Naomi was taking care of her mother-in-law. She didn't need to do that, but she did it. She was taking care of her mother-in-law. She was feeding her mother-in-law. Meanwhile, her husband was even late. She didn't owe that woman anything, but she did it. So you can see that she was working. She worked and was, willing to not sit at home and be asking people for money for a recharge card. That's not what she was doing. She was providing. She was providing. You find out that let me tell you, how did I meet my husband? I met my husband in my place of work. At my place of work. That's where I met my husband. It was at work, while working. So girls, ladies, go get a job. Get your hands busy. Work. While you're working, while you're interacting with people. Somehow. While you may even be working in church. You may be doing something. Look, it is at that place of your work that you will find the man, and then you'll be able to actually analyze who this person that is coming. And the person will actually, okay, this person is a hard worker. She's not the lazy type. Nobody likes a lazy person. Because if you're just constantly not doing anything, even when you get married, you won't want to do anything. Anything, meaning house chores, whatever, even going out to work, You don't want to, you just want to relax and just, be living off someone. So Ruth was not like that. Ruth was a hard worker. She worked. She worked. She was not willing to go begging. She didn't sell herself short. She was working. It was right there at the place of work that Boaz found out about her, that Boaz saw her. So that is the first point. Ruth was hardworking. She was industrious. Number two, Ruth was a lover of God. She loved God. See, she was a Moabite. A Moabite. She didn't need to serve the God of Naomi. She didn't need to do that. But she chose to, she understood, she knew that God, after Malon or Chilot got married to her, she decided to serve that God that they were serving. And she decided to stick with her mother-in-law's God. So she knew God. She had a walk with God. Because she said, your God will be my God, your people will be my people, everything. Why would somebody make that? She would have stayed with her people in Moab. She didn't need to go with Ruth. But because she knows that Moab, they are known. Moab is of the descendants of these Lot's daughters, the incestuous relationship. That's where Moab was. So they worship a lot of idols and all that. She didn't want to stay with her people. She didn't want to go back to where she was coming from, to that life. Because she had found a relationship with God. So she stuck with God. So she stuck with that God. And what is so interesting is that same God was the same God that Boaz too was worshiping. That's why I always tell you that you see your religious values, make sure you're married somebody that you share the same, you believe in the same, you have the same kind of religious values. It helps. It helps. So she believed in God. She served God. She loved God. So don't think that your loving God makes you not to be makes men not to see you, or makes you not to be marriageable. Those things are not the truth. Those things are not the truth. Serve God, love God, work for Him, do what He asks you to do. Don't do it because you have an agenda. I want to get married, so that's why you go and join the choir, or you go and join, or you go and do. You are doing whatever you're doing because you want to get. No, just love God for who God is. Love Him for who He is. As a single girl, just love God for who He is. Serve Him. Is at that point, Ruth was not following God because her Naomi's God, because he was going to reward her with a husband. She was ready to stick with that God. She wasn't thinking about husband. It was her mother-in-law that even thought about husband to settle her. Do you get that? So she was a God lover. She was also a loyal woman. She was a very loyal person. Guys, check this babe. Is she loyal to anybody? She will tell you, I don't have friends. I don't believe in friendship. I don't send anybody. I don't. Even your family, you're not loyal to anybody. You don't. I beg everybody. Listen, that is a very dangerous person. Because even when you get married to her, she will not be loyal to you. That's a very dangerous person. She was loyal to her mother-in-law. She was also very tolerant. Do you know what it is to go with an elderly woman and they say, you think Naomi didn't have her excesses? Naomi was the one telling her what to do. But she decided. She was a very tolerant woman. In fact, I wrote something down here. I wrote something. I was saying that there's something I wrote. I need to read it. I said that she was tolerant. Some singles are so sensitive to every fault, forgetting that they have theirs also. So it is okay for you to know that, okay, something is wrong. But if maybe the person has a flaw, but now stonewalling that person just because you found out that, because you know about this flaw of this person, it ain't right. That's not right. We all have our even you have something that is your shortcoming. Maybe you talk too much, or you are too, there's just something. There's something. Maybe you exaggerate, and then you find out that, okay, this guy, he doesn't know how to spend money. You now start using that and screaming at him, and just for that, maybe it's this kind of people that like to help. Any little thing, they are ready to volunteer their life. They are ready to help out. And you're like, this thing, they are using your head. They are, you don't want that. So because of that, just because of that, you now say no, no, no. As if you're looking for one perfect person, like as if you're perfect. You can't tolerate any little thing. If you cannot tolerate, there's no point getting married, because the truth is that you have to build capacity to tolerate. You have to. There are certain things that you will have to tolerate. Like when I got married, oh my God, I saw I never imagined that people could share towels. I got married and my husband was, and he would take my towel. And he had his own towel. I got him a towel from himself, but he would take. I'm like, what? I don't do that. I can't share my towel. No towel. No, 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 no. That was not how I was brought up. You have your own towel. You use your own towel. But he eventually told me, say, look, we didn't grow up with towels, and I'm here being angry about this towel, and so upset. Why would you use my towel? Eventually I had to now to start tolerating. So if I notice that he used, I want to use my towel and somebody is wet, somebody's body has been on it, and I don't even know what part you used it to. It's just so irish to me. So but I began to tolerate, because I was always getting worked up and worked up and worked up. You know, so many things I had to tolerate. I had to tolerate. Why? Because I want the home to work. I want the home to work. He too had to tolerate me, because I'm this kind of person. I don't like, please, I'm too, if it's not just going my way, it frustrates me. I want it to go my way. I want it to, I'm very forward. If something that I would just say it, this thing is not okay with me. I don't like it. I don't do that. Is just, so I had to like, what kind of thing is this? What kind of thing is this? Everything you complain about, or so you have to build capacity to tolerate, which Ruth had. So also, Ruth was very obedient. Very obedient. She respected her elders. Ladies, there are people that are ahead of you. There are people that have gone ahead of you. Don't feel that anytime somebody is trying to give advice, you just feel that, no, who is this one? Who is she talking to? Who is she talking to? Who is it? Don't look down on your elders because you have some, you are feeling so fly with yourself, maybe because you have this or you have that. Or listen, don't neglect elderly advice. I'm not saying take every advice. Even the Bible says try all spirits. So you will hear different advices, but don't neglect elderly advices. I remember there was a couple that was always, counseling, telling them, trying to help out. If they have issues, they will just call me. I was giving them free service. This is thing that other people were paying for. I was giving it to them for free, based on relationship and all that. And one day they just woke up. The husband said there was an issue, and the husband just said that, you know what, don't interfere in this our matter. Don't interfere. Immediately I backed off. I hands up. I watched. In fact, when I told my husband was like, look, when it comes to that, don't even say, in fact, stay in your lane. Of course, I did that. And they are happy. I am happy because it's already, when you're giving advice to people, it takes a whole lot. People think that it takes a whole lot because you are advising people based on, things that you know are happening, you based on information, based on things you've read, based on things you've experienced. So when you're counseling people, it is a very sensitive thing. You give the counsel, it's left for the person to take it. So sometimes the counsel you give for A may not even be relevant to B. So you have to, each person has his own specific kind of counsel for depending on their own situation. So I mean, I had stuff and I was like, you know what, you guys did. So I'm saying that don't negate. See, Ruth obeyed every step, everything her mother-in-law told her to do, she did it. And she got rewarded for it. Don't neglect your elders. Ruth was focused on God, not on marriage. Single ladies, stop going out. Altar call. They call out single. If you're single, you want to get married, you come out this Sunday. Next Sunday, you come out. In fact, I said I won't be doing that anymore because there was no way in the Bible where Jesus was praying for people to find their mate. There was no way. He didn't lay hands on anybody concerning that. So that means that it was a natural thing, it was a normal thing for people to find their mate. So focus on God. That's my advice. Focus on God. Focus on God. This man matter. Focus on God. That it has not happened doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It means that there's still something else that you need to be doing, that you need to add. The Bible says add, and add again. So those are some of the things that I wrote about Ruth. Then Ruth lastly had a past. Remember, her husband had died. So she had a past, but she did not allow her past to rule her future. She could have just turned and said, oh, why me? Oh, why me? Oh, why me? And be bitter and angry with life and angry that her husband died and angry with everybody, and throw pity parties and all that. But she didn't do that. She did not. She actually continued living her life. Even when Boaz saw her, Boaz did not judge her for her past. Boaz knew her past and decided to stick with her. So she was not lying about her past. She did not try to deceive Boaz about her past. So remember that don't allow your past. You were raped in the past. Get help. Something happened to you in the past. Don't allow that. People that hurt you in the past to rule your future. Those things can ruin the relationship that you're going to be in now because you're still trying to, you've not gotten over that. Get over all those past nonsense. Get over it. Get over it. How you need to get over whatever you can do to get over it. Get over it and move on. It has happened. It has happened. That's it. And move on. So, with these few points of mine, I hope I have told you something about Ruth and you picked one thing as a single lady just to help you and build you up, and I'm hoping to hear your wedding bells and your testimonies. All right? Okay. Bye.